Four NHL games going today. You're watching the Blue Line Hockey Betting Podcast. We're going to tell you exactly how to bet each and every single one of them. We got sides, we got totals, we got prop bets. Matthew Barnaby is my co-host. I'm Lawrence Prez. Andy Lang will be joining us. Matthew, well, great start for the Leafs, and I know that's all we care about. So, yeah, baby.
Yeah, great first weekend of hockey. Listen, just starting with the Winnipeg game, the intensity. It wasn't a great first period in that Winnipeg game, but St. Louis came out hitting everything in sight. The intensity from the crowd in Winnipeg, but yes, Toronto a dominating game against the Ottawa Senators.
You know, and Winnipeg with a scare there, Matt. They were down 3-2. They came out. I actually bet them in regulation. I felt it was a bit of a miracle win. But kudos to Winnipeg. Vegas got it done as well. Carolina got it done. No upsets yet to date. Maybe there'll be one coming up. And Matt, what is fascinating to me about this playoff in particular is there's a lot of veteran teams against newbies. Not newbies in the purest sense of the word, but, you know, you have Winnipeg against St. Louis. You've got, Minnesota's not a veteran playoff team. Ottawa's in it for the first time. Montreal is playing a veteran team in Washington. New Jersey, 1 year in the playoffs over the last many, many years. Again, playing a veteran team in Carolina. And what we've seen so far is that these veteran teams know how to play right now and are getting the job done. You made mention of that in the Ottawa game, but I really feel like we have not seen such a lopsided kind of first round in a while.
Yeah, I think all of our predictions for round one are going according to Hoyle. Really, it's playing out the way that we thought it would. Had a lot of unders in that Winnipeg game, and that was absolutely controlled chaos in that first period with 4 goals being scored, 3 power play goals in the first period. So I look for that to settle down. But I think the most dominating team through the weekend was Carolina over New Jersey. The lack of Jack Hughes, they just don't have an offense that can keep up with Carolina. Stankoven was awesome, but Carolina's a fast team, man. New Jersey just can't keep up.
Yeah, which is surprising because New Jersey does have speed up and down that lineup, but missing Jack Hughes is a big deal. And Luke Hughes also did not play much of that game. Let's get into today's card, Matt. There's 4 games. Let's start right off the bat with Washington playing Montreal. There is money. Interestingly, 72% of the actual tickets have been written on Washington. So 72% of the ticket writing. But the money, the wise, smart money is clearly coming in on Montreal. The line has moved again. It's now, you can get close to 180, minus 180 for Washington, a total of 6. And Matt, for me, I like the under in this game, but I actually prefer Washington in regulation. I think we have another situation here where we have a young team who's going to come out gangbusters, maybe take too many penalties, maybe show a little lack of discipline, if you will, in the Montreal Canadiens. And they're a well-coached team. I get it. Yeah. But this Washington team, it personifies veteran. I think Washington in regulation is the right play. I do lean on the under, and I would also lean on Montreal under 2.5 goals team total. What do you like here?
I like all of the above, buddy. I got the under. I see this being a 4-1 game. I see this being 3-1 late, maybe an empty netter. I think Ovi scores. I agree with you. I think any team that goes into the playoffs and when you're young, it's hard to fight those jitters. You've never been through it before. And just go back to Winnipeg and seeing the whiteout. You get on that ice for the first time, you start hitting, and guys start playing out of their element. Look at Tim Stützle in game one, trying to hit everything in sight. That's not his game. But you organically you change the way you play because of the intensity and it being a totally different game. So I like the under here as well. I like Washington in regulation. I think Ovi scores, but this is a much better team, Washington, than the Montreal Canadiens. It's almost a fugazi, if you want to say, the Montreal Canadiens getting to where they are.
Yeah, Matthew Barnaby, co-host with me. I'm Lawrence Presman. You're watching The Blue Line. Guys, please hit that like button. Please comment if you got any questions. I read the comments. So does Matt. Ask away. We'll be doing the show every day. And a quick shout out reminder, every Friday during the playoffs, 1 p.m. Eastern time, we will be doing a live show on our WagerTalk TV channel. We will take questions from the audience as well. We will have other ex-NHLers joining us, and Andrew McGinnis as well from Puck Time will be with us. So 1 p.m. Eastern every Friday is our live show. Matt, okay, let's go into the dressing room. Let's talk about this. You've been to the playoffs many times. You've lost a game. You've been down 1-0. St. Louis finds themselves in that position, and so does Dallas. What goes on in the dressing room? Is it calm?
Very, very. I mean, you always want to split on the road, right? You always want to get that split on the road. But once that one game, there's no momentum that carries over from game to game. We talked with Jeremy Roenick on Friday about just the players' mentality. You're down 1-0. It's not a big deal for any team on the road. You're down 1-0. All you're doing is thinking about game two, playing your best game that you can, cleaning up some of the mistakes that you might have made, and just going on from there. But yeah, it's very, very calm. There's still an excitement once you get into game two, but the off day is all positive. It's all focusing on game two, and St. Louis believes that they can win, and so does Dallas as they play Colorado as well. So, St. Louis is going to go into this game. It's going to be a raucous building again in Winnipeg. It's going to be probably louder than it was even in game one. We're going to hear the Hellebuck chants, but St. Louis believes they can win, and Winnipeg is going to try to put a stranglehold on the series.
Yeah, so let's get into this Winnipeg series. So from my perspective, I felt like St. Louis played what might end up being their best game of the entire playoffs. We don't know, but I feel like they had that game there. They were up 3-2 in the third period. They had things under control. They held Winnipeg to 25 shots. I know they only put up 17. I really like Winnipeg here, Matt. I think Winnipeg comes back. I think what's going on in the Winnipeg dressing room is, guys, we played a shit game. We were nervous. We didn't come out good. We let them take it to us. Let's turn this around. Let's show them who we are. And one of the angles that I love betting, Matt, and I've spoken to many coaches about this, is when a team wins, but they didn't play their best game, that's usually when the coaches do their best work, because they have a happy team and a team willing to learn. So I feel like Winnipeg is in that situation. I like them. They're probably my favorite play. And in regulation, by the way.
Listen, it's St. Louis had 24 hits in that first period. They dominated Winnipeg physically. That will not happen in game two. Winnipeg took over the game in the third period. One of the nicest goals you'll ever see, that face-off play to Kyle Connor, wrapping around the net from Scheifele. I mean, that was just a thing of beauty. That's a set play and elite players executing at the right time. But Winnipeg is going to be much, much better. I look for St. Louis to get a lot more shots today. I think they're going to be shooting from everywhere, but I think we see a much better Winnipeg team throughout the game and ready to start the game. And you're right, when it's the perfect time not to scold your team, but point out the negatives on how you played in that game when you have a win. If they would have lost, you would point the negatives, but you'd be much more upbeat. This is one, hey guys, we got away with one. We have to be much better, and let's dominate this team. Go back to St. Louis up 2-0.
Brilliant. Matt Barnaby with us. Matt, Dallas, Colorado. I don't see myself betting the series. And I can't make heads or tails. I mean, technically we're supposed to zigzag here. These teams are pretty evenly matched. Colorado won the first game, and Dallas wasn't outplayed in that hockey game. Blackwood stood on his head. It's supposed to be a zigzag. I'm not feeling it. I can't play under with Colorado. I can't play overs with Dallas. I'm passing on this and likely passing on every game in this series. You?
Yeah, I have Dallas winning this series by over a game and a half. I'm not betting this game
Dallas?
either. Sorry, Colorado. I apologize. I have Colorado winning by over a game and a half in this series. I'm not betting this. If Dallas is going to win a game, this is the one.
Yeah.
The difference between this is a, excuse me, this is a very deep Colorado team, a very deep Colorado team. And just look at Natchez. I mean, Rantanen was terrible in game one. He's going to be better in game two. Ben was terrible in game one. He's going to be better in game two. But I'm off on this game two. I'm just going to ride the Colorado Avalanche. I think they take this series. I think worst case scenario, they win this series 4-2. But Mackenzie Blackwood is the big difference maker from this team from a year ago. He made some huge saves, huge saves. Colorado's a little fortuitous on the power play. They got away with one. They didn't play their best game, but I think they're a much better team.
There we go. Yeah, that series, man. I feel so bad for teams like, both of them. I mean, you sit there, you're like, Dallas gets Colorado. Colorado gets Dallas. So, Florida gets Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay gets Florida. Well, Edmonton gets the Kings, but the Kings get them for the fourth playoffs in a row. Edmonton has beaten them every single playoff. Tell me what is going on in the LA Kings dressing room.
Listen, they're very confident. They're 31-6-4 at home. I mean, this is a dominant team at home, not great on the road, just under 500 at home. But they know they're a good defensive team. They know they're a very deep team. And I think they know that they've matched up very well against Edmonton. I think Ekholm is just a big, big loss for the Edmonton Oilers.
Yeah,
I think the minutes he plays and how he plays is huge. And I'm going to take defense over offense in this case. I'm on LA to win the series. I think it goes a lot. It's going 6 or 7 games. These are two very evenly matched teams. But LA believes they can beat the Edmonton Oilers. I think they believe it's their time. And they're very confident at home, like I said.
How good is Drew?
He's unbelievable. I mean, he's slowed down, but you don't get much of a combination of an offensive guy, a shutdown guy, and a physical guy like Drew Doughty. I mean, that's how good a player he is. He can play in all aspects of the game, and even when we saw him go to the Four Nations Cup as a reserve because of injury, he stepped right in and played great.
Yeah, really overlooked because he plays in LA, but man, top 10 defender of all time, likely. Guys, hit that like button. Also, guys, I'm playing in the WSOP main event in Toronto. 2,139 people got in. We bagged our chips last night from day 2. There are 25 people left. Wow. I can cash a minimum. Yeah, I can cash a minimum of 19,000. The winner makes 500,000. We are starting in 50 minutes. Matthew, my take on this LA Kings is really simple. I agree with you, and I like them in the series and tonight. And I didn't like them before the Ekholm injury. That's how big this injury is, because I felt like there was just too much speed on Edmonton. These teams are very different in style. This is an old school LA Kings, north-south hockey team playing sort of a new school Colorado Avalanche style east-west hockey team. A lot of speed on one side, a lot of heavy on the other. Ekholm is a huge, huge loss because of how heavy he is and how much traffic he can move out of that net. I also am very concerned about Edmonton's goaltending, Matt. And I think the games might go over as well. I don't want to be betting LA Kings games over, but I don't see Skinner standing on his head. I think the Kings win tonight. I think it could be 4-5-2.
Yeah,
So
I'm on LA tonight. I'm on LA tonight. I'm on LA for the series. I think it's their time. I think they're a better team. I think they can make a run here. I really do. And
yeah.
like I said, they're a very good defensive team. They get good goaltending, and they play a heavy game. They play a very heavy game. You don't want to trade chances with the Edmonton Oilers. Draisaitl's going to get his looks. McDavid's going to get his looks. We know that, but I just think LA is the better team here.
There we go. Matthew Barnaby, Lawrence Presman. Let's bring Andy Lang in. Andy, what are your prop bets for today?
Two prop bets are going to be looking at Mackenzie Blackwood, who you guys talked about. I like his over saves, over 22 and a half saves. Just barely got over last game, 23. We got 12 missed shots by the opponent, so some of those may find they get converted into shots on goal. Played Dallas 3 times this year, 23, 26, and 36 shots on goal. And, Dallas was 8th in shots on goal this year. They were averaging 29.05 shots per game. So I think they get there. I think they get plenty of shots, and Blackwood ends up going over. And then Lafreniere over 1.5 shots on goal over 9 out of 10 games. 5.4 shot attempts the last 10. I love that number, averaging 3.2 shots on goal. And he's gone over in 3 out of 4 games against them this season. So I like a goalie prop, and I like a shots on goal prop.
Excellent stuff, guys. Andy Lang is hosting a Wager Talk today. You can see that over at Wager Talk TV at noon Eastern. He's hosting for me as I'm playing in that poker tournament. Really appreciate the work, Andy. Thank you, brother. Matt, what are your props?
I got Lion A. He has not been great last month and a half, but I think he's going to feel the pressure from Montreal fans. I think he's in that spot where he shoots on the power play. I mean, he could have 3 shots on one power play. We know he's not a passer. We know he's a shooter. Over 1.5 shots at minus 145. And I think St. Louis is going to come out shooting the puck from everywhere. I think they're going to get traffic to the net. Hellebuck over 21.5 saves. I think Winnipeg wins, but I think St. Louis is shooting from absolutely everywhere today.
Wow, I love that Hellenbuck prop bet. That's it for the show, guys. Best bet. I like Winnipeg in regulation. Matt, what's yours?
Exact same thing. Winnipeg in regulation, buddy.
There we go. Guys, what a show. So fun. Andy Lang, Matt Barnaby on behalf of Dan Alexander, our world-class producer. I'm Lawrence Presman. Don't bet like an idiot, and we'll see you guys tomorrow.